She has a passion for finding solutions through science.
When you make a discovery, you make a scientific breakthrough, it gives you an elation that like you are like, oh wow, yeah, wow. And it's a huge, huge motivation factor, and you can't sleep, you can't eat, you just want to live in the lab.
She heads one of Africa's largest insect research institutions.
I think in Africa, yes, we have a lot of problems, but we have a lot of solutions also if we observe in nature how things happen.
This week on African Voices, meet Segenet Kalemu, an Ethiopian agricultural scientist. Segenet Kalemu was born in Fenote Selam, a small village northwest of Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa.
There was no electricity, no running water, nothing of that sort, no sign of civilization. But it was a very happy childhood. So I grew up really doing a lot of what girls in African rural village do. Grew up collecting firewood and doing a lot of different things and fetching water. But I think what that taught me is resilience, being independent, resourceful, and really it's ingrained also a very strong work ethics in me. My parents wanted me to be a medical doctor, but because of various reasons, I was always tilting, particularly in high school, to do something related to science.
Kalemu attended Addis Ababa University, which at the time offered free education. She studied agriculture and graduated at the top of her class in 1979.
I was also working on my ambition to go to graduate school. But the challenge then was that at the time, no one was allowed to go to the West to study. And the scholarships were not coming to the West. The scholarships were to the Soviet Union, to the Eastern Bloc countries, Soviet Bloc countries, and so on. So my whole dream was to study graduate school science in United States.
At the time, Ethiopia was allied to the former USSR at the height of the Cold War, meaning traveling to the United States would be hard.
So it looked very impossible at the time. And my friends, my then supervisor, my boss told me that I was dreaming the impossible, so I should take whatever is available and go to Eastern Bloc countries, but I didn't accept that. So finally, it happened, and I got the opportunity. I earned the scholarship to go to the United States. So then now the trick is how to get out, because you need a lot of approval signatures to get an exit visa. To leave the country, you need an exit visa at that time. It was a highly controlled system. College helped me, my superior helped me also in many different ways. And I managed to get all the signatures and I got out, yeah.
Kalemu went on to study diseases of plants, earning a master's and PhD at 2 American universities, and worked for a research laboratory in New York. In 1992, she was offered a job in Cali, a town in southwestern Colombia, working with the International Center for Tropical Agriculture.
I was recruited to take up a senior science position there. So I went and visited. I had actually no plan to go to Colombia, but I went and visited and I really fell in love with the place. I stayed there, I think, 8 days maybe. So I really liked it and I thought, okay, this is something I think I should do. And that was a fantastic decision. So although I told myself initially that I would stay there for a maximum of 5 to 7 years. I ended up there for 15 years.
One of the center's main partnerships was with laboratories across China. As part of the relationship, they would send researchers to learn under Kalemu's tutelage.
In 2006, because of the capacity building I did for China and the impact which was done there as part of the research by my former graduate students, the Chinese government decided in 2006 to give me their highest award for making contributing to China's economic and social development. So, of all the awards I received to date, this has significant meaning to me. This was an award given to me by the government of China. Why is it so significant of all the awards? Because that was the time when I was receiving this medal on the stage from the Premier of China. I made that decision on the stage to myself. I had to go back to Africa because it was a sort of embarrassing for me coming from a poor country and getting an award for making impact and making a difference in China. And so I made a decision right there that I had to go back to Africa and make a difference to the people of Africa. So this was a turning point for me. I went back to my house in Colombia, and my husband and my daughter was like, "Okay, mommy, so how was it? How was it?" I said, "Great, it was great, but we are going back to Africa." "What? Where? When?" I said, "I don't know, but we are going, that's what I know." So, and neither my husband nor my daughter ever lived in Africa, so they were confused. But they were comforted that actually I have no clue where I was going and when I was going, but it's just okay.
It would be a phone call that offered her a way back to Africa.